This video will show you how to replace the Interlock Weatherstrip on Andersen 400 Series Frenchwood and 200 Series Narroline gliding patio doors. Before you begin, find the service guide that came with your replacement Interlock Weatherstrip. Be sure to read it completely, including all the cautions and warnings. The service guide also contains a list of tools and materials needed to replace your Interlock Weatherstrip. You can download the service guide at AndersenWindows.com. You will also need a replacement Interlock Weatherstrip set, available from your Andersen dealer or parts.AndersenWindows.com. You may need a second person to assist you. If you need to familiarize yourself with the terminology in this video, we recommend clicking here to watch a video on identifying the parts of Andersen gliding patio doors. Windows and doors can be heavy. Use safe lifting techniques and a reasonable number of people with enough strength to lift, carry, and install window and door products to avoid injury and/or product damage. Begin by cutting the varnish seal with a utility knife along the headstop. Support the door panel at all times during the following procedure. The panel could drop, causing injury or product damage. To remove the operating panel, open the door completely and remove the headstop screws from the operating side and save for reuse. Close and lock the operating panel. Next, remove the remaining headstop screws and save for reuse. Then, remove the headstop and save for reinstallation. Open the operating panel. Tip the top of the operating panel toward you and lift to remove. Place the panel on a clean flat work surface with the exterior side facing up. Using a putty knife, remove the wood trim piece from the operating panel and save for reuse. Use nippers to remove any nails from the panel and from the trim piece. Remove the screws securing the Interlock Weatherstrip on the active panel. If no screws were included in the replacement Interlock Weatherstrip set, save the removed screws for reuse. Remove the Interlock Weatherstrip and set aside. Using a putty knife, remove any silicone from the panel. The new Interlock Weatherstrip set will include both the operating panel weatherstrip and the stationary panel weatherstrip. Each piece will be marked on the back side. Be sure you have the correct piece before attaching the new weatherstrip to the operating panel. Apply a 1/8 inch bead of sealant to the bottom corner of the operating panel as shown. Position the operating panel Interlock Weatherstrip tight to the edge of the panel and flush to the bottom. Then, fasten using the Phillips head screws. Remove the backing on the new head dust pad and attach it above the Interlock Weatherstrip on the operating panel. Next, position the wood trim piece flush with the bottom of the panel and attach with finishing nails. It may be helpful to use a nail set. Next, look at the weatherstrip that you had previously removed from the operating panel. If the weatherstrip has a compressible bulb as shown here, follow all steps presented in this video. If it does not have a compressible bulb, you will not need to modify the SILL filler and can skip that step. Now, properly dispose of the old weatherstrip. Next, remove the screws securing the Interlock Weatherstrip from the stationary panel. If no screws were included in the replacement Interlock Weatherstrip set, save the removed screws for reuse. Remove the Interlock Weatherstrip and dispose of properly. Remove the head plug at the top of the stationary panel and dispose of properly. Then, remove the backing from the new head plug and apply it onto the stationary panel. Using a putty knife, remove any silicone from the panel. Remove the SILL dust plug at the bottom of the stationary panel and dispose of properly. Remove the innermost screw on the stationary panel SILL filler flange and save for reuse. Measure 1 inch in from the edge of the sill filler flange and mark with a pencil. Using a wide blade putty knife to protect the wood surface, remove 1 inch of the sill filler flange with a hacksaw and chisel. An oscillating tool can also be used. Be sure to remove any remaining raised material from the sill filler flange so that it is flush with the sill filler. Using a dowel, plug the exposed screw hole in the panel and break the dowel flush with the panel. Reinstall the previously removed screw into the sill filler flange. Clean any debris in the channel with a clean cloth and denatured alcohol. The replacement kit will include 2 dust plugs. The correct plug will have the slope side facing up, and the leg will rest on the corner of the panel. Apply the new sill dust plug, adhering it to the sill using instant adhesive. Apply a 1/8 inch bead of sealant to the bottom corner of the stationary panel as shown. Position the new stationary panel interlock weather strip to the edge of the panel. Set the bottom of the weather strip onto the sill dust plug. Slightly bend the weather strip until the top can be positioned against the head plug and sits tight to the panel. Fasten using the Phillips head screws. The interlock weather strip must contact the black foam plug at the top of the unit and the black foam plug at the bottom of the unit to achieve a weather-tight seal. Failure to do so may result in water infiltration and product or property damage. Lift the operating panel onto the frame from the interior and position the rollers on top of the sill track. Tip the top of the operating panel in, slide the panel closed, and lock the door. Position the head stop in the head jamb, making sure the wood surface is facing the interior of the home. Fasten the stationary side of the head stop using the previously removed screws. Be careful not to over-tighten the screws. Unlock and open the operating panel. Fasten the operating side of the head stop with the previously removed screws, being careful not to over-tighten the screws. Finally, close and lock the door. Congratulations! You have successfully replaced the interlock weather strip on your Andersen gliding patio door. If you need parts for your Andersen windows or doors, just go to our online parts store at parts.andersenwindows.com. And if you have questions about care, maintenance, or repair, call our Customer Care Center at 888-888-7020 or visit the Help Center in the Service section of our website at help.andersenwindows.com. Andersen, customer care is what we care about most.